Hey everybody, it's Peter, and this is going to be a fun one. As you know, on this channel, I like to bring you things that are interesting to me and that are cool and really unique, and that's what this is. This is the 2024 Sea-Doo Switch, the compact one. Now it's a Switch Sport. There's a lot of lineups in this, and you can get longer lengths than this, but what I love about this is a compact sport boat that's also a pontoon boat that has a flexible interior, that has a completely different helm. It's just a completely different experience than anything else on the water today, and what I'm going to do in this review is go over a lot of the details that maybe the other videos aren't showing you by sort of doing a walk around feature review of this vehicle. Now, let's put our biases out there right away. I'm a fan of this thing. Maybe you are, maybe you're not, that's cool. It's gonna be hard to hide my excitement on this thing. I get to spend a little bit of time going over this, and that's just a fun day for me. So, do me a favor, we're filming here at Extreme Torque Sports here in Fredericton. They've got a location in Moncton and Woodstock as well. Three locations across New Brunswick. They are amazing. One thing you'll learn about Sea-Doo is they are also an accessories company as much as anything else, and you'll learn that when you buy something like this, dealing with a great dealer is amazing because these guys can tell you how to make things work for you, and they know all kinds of stuff about it. They know way more than I know about this stuff, but they've taught me a little bit. And if you have questions and you want to know more, maybe you're not in New Brunswick, let me know in the comments below, because I can come back to this vehicle again and again. They've given me complete access to all of their inventory, so if there's anything you want to know about this, we'll come back, we'll make future videos. I'll do my best to answer you in the comments as well. And if you're in New Brunswick, you got to check out one of their 3 locations. All right, let's get going with this review. So let's just touch on what is this thing. It looks a bit like a sport boat. It looks a bit like a catamaran, but it's a trimaran. So what is it? Well, basically what it is Sea-Doo's version of a pontoon boat. Pontoon boats have been all the rage. They give you a ton of deck space. And remember, this is a very short vehicle, a very short boat. So you gain a lot of floor space by squaring off the boat and giving it sort of that pontoon style. Now, the problem with most pontoon boats, especially when they're shorter and you don't need all that deck space, is they're very low performing. A lot of boats that are this length have about 40 horsepower. This one has 170. You can get it down with 130. If you go longer lengths, you can get more power again. So 170 horsepower in a pontoon boat is kind of nuts, right? Well, it is and it isn't, because in the center of this pontoon boat, walking into the hitch, that's a good idea. In the center of this pontoon boat is a hull that is larger than the pontoons. It looks a little bit like a boat, it functions a little bit like a Sea-Doo, and what that does is gives you a boat that leans into turns like a regular sport boat, but still gives you the deck and stability when you're stopped of a pontoon boat. It's a really unique design, and this is only the beginning of what's unique about it. Let's go around and take a look at the rear before we jump inside and talk about a lot of those pieces in there. So take a look at the stern of this boat. Now I'm going to put a full disclosure out there. I'm probably going to say front, rear, left, and right instead of all the boat terms. Just what I'm used to reviewing on a regular basis, so you'll have to forgive me that. But I did say stern, so you got it out of me once. All right, taking a look at the rear of this boat, you can really see that Sea-Doo kind of piece in the center. It's almost like a pontoon boat with a Sea-Doo bottom stuck in the center there, and that's kind of a good way to think about it. It gives you a few advantages. First of all, although this thing is unique in so many ways, it's just got a typical Sea-Doo powertrain in there, which means it's very easy to service, it's very familiar to people, there's nothing new that way, but everything else is quite different and quite new. First of all, you've got a really clean look over here. Sea-Doo, of course, has that jet drive, so it doesn't have a propeller down there, which is a nice thing to have as well, especially if you're doing water sports. If you are doing water sports, you've already got on the Sea-Doo Sport a place to connect your water sports stuff up here, tow connection right there, and of course, they're gonna wanna get back in the boat. Now, these seats might be in the way on this floor plan, but we'll show you in the video a little bit later how these can move, and you can open this door. But just to get back on the boat, you can lift this up, you can pull it out, and you have, much louder than it needs to be because it was right by my mic, but you can pull this out and you have the ladder in there that tucks cleanly out of the way. It's a little bit about style, but it also is about practicality. It tucks out of the way, it's not dragging in the water ever, you're not just folding it down. So it looks clean, it looks cool, and again, to put it back in, very simple to do, just kind of telescopes into itself and you've got that. The other thing I should mention is this is on the galvanized trailer. Trailer is standard with this boat. You don't have to sit there and buy it separately. It's included in the price. This one's galvanized. There's also a painted version as well, so you can sort of choose on that. There are lots of options to choose. The website, the Sea-Doo website, is a great place to start seeing some of the options on this boat. Let's head inside the boat and start talking about some of the features in there. So as we head inside, I should show you first this custom trailer. Of course, this is a custom trailer for a different type of hull on this boat. You do have the stairs in there. You also got really clean wiring mixed in there. I've got the key in hand, so that's what's in my hand there. With clean wiring there, you have a railing and steps to get into the front. We're gonna show you that front door in a second. I think I'm gonna put the camera inside, but that's what I'm gonna be coming up. We got a few more things to show you on the outside, so we'll show you that later in the video, but I think we have to go inside now to start showing you what the kind of stuff you have in there. All right, I'm down here at the front of the boat. We're gonna show you how you get in. So of course, you've got this step here, and I can stand on the hitch itself as well, but we're gonna use the step. So this piece here, you kind of lift it up and swing it in like that, and it's just simple to latch like that. I'm gonna use the last step, come across. I am breaking the cardinal sin of boating. I am wearing my shoes right now, but that's what we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna put this back in, secure it up. The camera is wide angle, so the views are kind of skewed. It's gonna look different. I'm gonna show you a little bit better view in a second here. But you can see for a short boat, I can go right to the edge, side to side, and have tons of walking space even at the front of the boat, which is so rare. On a boat like this, you normally have to have it way narrower at the front, and that gives you a ton of living space, even on something that's very short and can fit in some garages. You're gonna have to have a little bit of a taller door than some garages, but you know, this is a boat that is very compact, also very towable by cars without a whole lot of towing power. So we're gonna start showing you a couple of the pieces down here. Let's do that right now. All right, for simplicity of filming at the moment, we're still using the wide angle camera here. So again, things are a little skewed to the sides. Oh, cool, we got about 15 motorcycles going by there on the highway. That's what that noise was. Anyways, we still have a little bit of a wide angle camera right here so you can sort of see things. I want to show you on this shorter boat, the compact version, there are squares in the middle here, which are traditional squares. On the larger boats, you're going to have more squares. See with these little holes type there? You're going to have more of those available. But even on this shortest version, you have a number of those squares across the boat here. And what that does, actually, this one in there is hard to see in the shadow, but it is still there. What that does is it allows you to place a number of pieces in a number of ways. Now, right now, we've just got sort of the plasticky, rubbery kind of feeling centerpiece here, but where those pieces are, you can put soft padded floorboards on there as well, including a whole bunch of other things. So right now what you have is this little seat is essentially on the floor, but you can have a soft padded spot in there, there, and there, and have a nice place to lounge out. And then you can also move furniture around this boat by placing it into these custom pieces and having them lock in. So we're going to show you how that works in just a second, but let me just go to a different corner. We're going to show you me sitting down right on this lounge seat right now. So I've taken the camera off of wide angle so you have less of a skewed view, and I'm 6 feet tall. Now, I would like, if I was boating, to put the pads in here to make it a little bit more comfortable. But you can see here, if I was to raise half an inch up or an inch up or something like that, this would still be at a good arm spot. If we're going around quick corners, although this is soft, the bars are still strong, so you've got something to kind of hold on to, and the shape of them gives you something to hold on to. We'll show you that later. But again, at 6 feet tall, you know, proportional 6-footer, I've got tons of space. I could be 6'6" sitting here and reach my legs out. Even where it curls in, I've still got lots of space with shoes on to kind of sit and relax and lounge over here. So this chair in its position works well while you're boating, even for a 6-footer. Again, I would put the padding on the ground, but the rest of the boat, even in this short piece, does have more traditional seating. Let's show you that right now. So it is a bright sunny day, actually kind of cool, but let's just pretend it's really hot. I've got the Bimini up, and you can see that where we were sitting out front was in the sun. Where I am right now is nice and in the shade. Now I'm gonna do another cardinal sin and put my feet up with my shoes on the seat there. You can see that this is very cozy, very comfortable to lounge in, especially for a little small boat. And you have that 2 seats here, which are identical to the 2 seats there. A corner piece and a corner piece. We'll take you in closer in a second. And the driver's seat here, or the helmsman seat, where you can turn that around and face it different directions. But you've got the ability to sort of have a nice little area here. You can put a table in this area, in different areas and that kind of thing. So there's lots of options to, again, move furniture, but I think we should show you moving that furniture right now, how it kind of works. So let's bring you in a little closer and show you that. All right, the fear of filming like this is I'm going to show you my rear end a little too much, but we'll try to show you best we can. So first of all, you can see at the very bottom of your screen here, you've got that sort of yellow label. Anywhere there's something yellow, that's where you can sort of move the seating. Now remember, you may want to move this seating depending on what you're doing. You could put it at the front, you could put it other places if you want. So what you're going to do is you're going to push that down like that. Just pushing it down allows you to have kind of an open space, and I would think, yeah, in fact, I would definitely be able to lay across here. You could have your people climb in over the back just with it as is. So you can put it up or down. There's a little piece here. I can pull it back out and put it back upright, but to collapse it, just push it forward and there it is. Now, once that's done, you can pull this little lever here. Once you pull that out, the entire thing, you can see kind of here, lifts up and it's got a handle and it's not heavy. Like, I don't know how heavy it is, but it's very easy to lift around. Again, let me just sort of show you, like, again, easy to lift. I've got a bit of a back issue. I shouldn't be doing too much heavy things. That is just not an issue. So once we have out, we can move this around. I'm gonna put it sort of under the tripod there. Let me see my watch. My watch is my viewfinder. It's just shaking around because it's not locked in anywhere. And that opens this door up so you can use this back door. Now, what do I wanna do with this? I could put it in the front, I can move around. And every one of these seats, the two on the side, the one that I'm sitting on and the one in here, can be moved around, as well as these corner pieces. So you could move your seating section to the front if you wanted to have this section free, or you could move some of the seating to the back, or you can just move individual seats, or if you're just going with a couple people, you can take it all right out and have more space. So really cool. Now to put it back, again, easy to lift, got a nice little handle, slide it in there. You can kind of feel it drop in place, push that back in, pull this lever here, done. Easy to move your furniture around this boat, even while you're on the water. So I'm gonna go wide angle again, skewing the views, especially on the outside, to show you the helm seat, the helm position. This is a different position. First of all, you've got the traditional type seat. It does have the tip up bar there, which is standard on the Sport. It's optional on the lower trim levels. And you can sit here, or stand essentially, stand and sit and control. Now you'll see where my hands are going. This is not a steering wheel. This is something completely different. Let's come around and show you what we've got in just one second. But overall, you have a pod here that remains in place. The driver's seat stays in place. And what this does is allows you to have a driver position that's both comfortable and central while allowing you to move the furniture all around. Now remember, in the longer boats, you have more options to place more furniture in more places. So you have even more flexibility than just this. But in this boat, you still have a compact, easy, comfortable position. We're gonna talk about how you drive this and that kind of thing, but this whole position is really smartly laid out. We're going to show you a couple little things around the outside before we come and show you how this all works. So turning from the wide angle again, I just want to go to the sort of the standard angle here. You can see that this top piece here has a fairly wide opening. This is just sort of the cover to a decent size opening in here, so that is what that is. It does give you some sun protection over, or some shade over the gauges or the cluster there, so you can see that. One thing I really like about this is, again, because this is mounted solidly, whether you're fishing, maybe you're standing up and all of a sudden some waves are coming in, you have a solid grab handle all the way around here. So if the boat starts shaking around, you've got a way to grab onto something if you're in the front here, especially if there's no furniture there, which again, you can put the furniture there if you wanted. The other nice thing is there is some storage below, which we can show you, kind of open storage there. And then your fuel fill is inside the boat. So there is a little flap there. Let me see if I can kind of zoom into that on the outside. There's a little flap there, right there, which you can open up and fill your fuel fill right there. So the fuel fill is just kind of inside the boat. That again keeps the outside looking clean. You know, just convenient location. But again, that's sort of your firmly mounted in place. Everything else is pretty much flexible. All right, let's take a look at the helm's seat. Let's call it the driver's seat and show you what this thing is all about. So taking a look at the dash layout here, the main pieces here, you have all your boating type stuff, but again, it's gonna be very familiar to Sea-Doo people. Now again, if you're thinking, no, I want a steering wheel, I think you may find that this is just as comfortable and just as practical. So the way this works on the water is a different video, but we're gonna give you the basics. There's a throttle on the right-hand side, so it works like a Sea-Doo, and then this is your intelligent brake and reverse. So what that means is you can actually brake this boat by setting the jet drive, just sort of turning it around, and you have the ability to stop this boat in a hurry and spin it. And then of course, when you're docking, you can kind of reverse it. There's so much precise control with this style that I think Sea-Doo did the right thing by not putting a steering wheel in, because they have such maneuverability and control with their system as is, their patented system as is, that it makes some sense. So again, typical controls here. We're not on the water, so I'm not going to show you everything, but that's the basics. Down below here, I don't know if you can see down below the switches there, you have a horn, you have lights, anchor, there's other pieces in there on those buttons. And then we'll just glance at the dash here, just to show you up. Maybe we could throw the key in there and we'll just show you what we can see in the dash here without obviously turning the boat on. All right, so before we show you the dash for one quick second, I want to zoom right back out and show you the key. Again, this is the same key they use in the Can-Am Riker. It's just a digital type key, so we're going to push that all the way into the dash. Going to drop this in, and we'll see what we can do to just sort of turn it on but not start it up. So there we go. So there's your dash coming alive. So you can see low fuel. It is red backlit. Very familiar dash to a lot of people who have been on Sea-Doo stuff. Fuel gauge, temperature gauge, trip information, speedometer, that kind of things. So a lot of information in there on a simple dash, not a full like LCD or TFT display, but sort of the basics are all there. So it's kind of nice to have. We're going to leave that on for a second as we, try to zoom out here for a second. You can see you've got cup holders in here. And the other thing I want to show you is this whole helm's position does have angled foot pads. So it's not level with the floor, they angle back to you. It's a very comfortable driving position. Now, Sea-Doo's thought of things. Sometimes you head out on the water on a Sea-Doo and hey, it gets cold out there because you're getting wet. Well, this boat, you're not going to get so wet, but if you got cold, you have the option of putting heated grips on this if you wanted to. So again, snowmobile background, just other backgrounds. Heated grips are an option to keep you nice and warm. All right, this thing's mad because I haven't started. So that's why it's beeping at me. Let's keep moving around and show you a few other interesting things. You'll notice I was standing underneath the Bimini top, and we got a little Velcro strap that I haven't secured properly yet, but that is waving on the top of your screen. But you can see, again, anything with this color down here, that sort of bright green kind of color, shows you what you need to sort of latch and lock. There's two pieces there, or one there and one up here, which allow you to sort of adjust that Bimini up and down and fold it down. So you have a very easy to assemble boat. That's one thing I find about this. Although it's unique, everything on this boat is simple, whether it's moving the furniture, setting up the Bimini, driving it. Again, all these unique things, they kind of are set up differently for a purpose and they work very, very well. We did promise you we're going to show you these little padded corner pieces here, so let's do that. We're going to fold these seats down and show you what that looks like. All right, I'm not sure what I'm going to do in editing. This is a very shaded part because we do have that Bimini up, so I may tweak the colors in editing just to get a little bit more brightness there. But you can see here, you have this corner piece. Again, that piece is removable. Very deep storage underneath there. You can put that in the other corners of the boat, the front corners if you want to. These are the same seats as you have over here, but I just folded them down again. And again, I believe, I can't see why you couldn't lay on this. We're just going to go wide angle for a second here. I don't really want to be your model of laying on it, but I'm just going to sort of sit on it to show you there's some squishiness here. But yeah, this is be comfortable enough to lay on for sure. And again, I'm 6 feet tall. I fit easily within the width of this boat laying across it. And you could sunbathe out on the backside if you wanted to as well, simply by pulling those down. So cool setup here with your cup holders and everything else. Like I mentioned, some storage in the side there as well. Sorry, trying to get it right on the wide angle camera there. And then of course, you can keep these ones up or set them down as well. Now these ones you may want to sit up or leave up simply because you have the rail in behind. I do want to show that rail because remember when I was sitting at the front seat, I said it's easy to grab with your hand. Let me show you what I mean by that. All right, so this is that backrest that was sitting essentially on the floor. Now remember what I said, I would put a padded area in here on these areas to make it more comfortable. That's how at least I would do things, but I wanna show you the rail here because I think it's worth showing. We'll zoom right in. You can see that this area here is very easy to grab hold of. You can see my hand in there tight, you can put your fingers in there. Both sides are shaped the same, so you've got a lot of good grip on that. And as we come a little bit back to a sort of standard view, you can see at the very front here, there is this bigger pad here. Now it looks just like plastic, but I can tell you that this is a padded area, which you can hopefully see my thumb kind of digging into that. So even if you just put that padding on the floor and you wanted to lean your back against that, that is a nice comfortable pad. A couple other little things that are interesting here. We're going to show you some tie downs on the outside of the boat. You can see there's a little tiny pass through right on the rail right there. Let's go a little further in. Outside of that is the sort of tie down, but you have a place to drop that rope on the inside of the boat, not leave it hanging out. So all the little details have been thought of here, which is kind of nice to have. So you're currently taking a look at the front of the boat. So we're standing in the center of the boat. We've got the door open to the front, which goes down to the railing and the stairs that I showed you on the trailer. And what you have in the front is a really smart piece right here. This is a little spot that is permanently designed to hold your anchor. So if you want to go to anchor on a pontoon boat, that's part of the fun. You just pull this piece up and you can easily access your anchor. Now, you saw that piece came off very easily. I should show you that it is tethered in there. We're going to try to do this in one shot by kind of taking a look in there. There's your anchor down there. So you have a little space down there, or a place where you can put the anchor anyways. You have a little space where you can store the anchor. I believe the anchor is an accessory, to be fully honest with you, but a nice little spot that keeps everything out of the way. So it's easy to get to, but also completely out of the way. Again, smart design to this boat. So taking a little closer look on the outside of this boat, you can see the design, sort of the shape there and the shadows of this boat. You've got bold color on the front. Now, of course, there's multiple colors. You can see them online, but this is, of course, the red. I don't know what the red's called. I probably should have looked that up. Looking back here, let's just zoom in a little bit. You've got your tie downs there. Again, this is the spot where I was mentioning with that tie down. There's a little hole in behind, so you could drop a rope in behind. And there is, we're on the fuel side of this, so there's your zipper there. So this would be the passenger side of the vehicle if you're trailering it, that you could trailer up and fuel it easily on the trailer from the pump right there. And again, another tie down to the back right there. So just simple design on the outside, clean design, but very sporty look on this that just works really well for being something compact and agile and fun. So let's talk about who this boat is for. Now, to me, anytime you have something that sort of breaks the barriers within a certain class or within a certain segment, you have something that's going to appeal to a wider variety or a narrower variety of people. Now, I think this is going to appeal to a wider variety of people. If you're used to something like a Sea-Doo in the past and you just want more space and still want to have that kind of fun, this is going to feel and be very familiar with the control position. Now, I think that control position, that handlebar instead of steering wheel, is going to scare a few people off, and honestly, I don't think you should let it do that. It's very natural, very intuitive, and it's still very comfortable. I kind of thought a wheel might be more comfortable. This is perfectly comfortable, and I think you'll enjoy some of the feature benefits because it's not just about a different style in that Helm's position. It's also about some features that you get with ability to easily dock and that kind of thing. What I love about this boat is you can keep it compact and have a short boat that doesn't take up a ton of space on your property, but it still allows you a really wide area to have people, even a pet, out on the water. You can move the furniture around to make it work for however you're docked, however you're floating, however you want to do stuff. It's great to fish off of. It's great to have tow sports and do that kind of thing. It kind of is a great little do everything kind of boat. And again, compared to a lot of pontoon style boats in this size, you've got way more horsepower and way more fun, which makes it interesting to me. Now, if you're looking for more of a fun pontoon boat, you can extend the lengths out on these and still keep all the benefits. In fact, you gain benefits as you move up. You gain some power, you gain the ability to have more power. You also gain the ability to place furniture in more places. You could see on this one, basically the only flexibility was around the outside perimeter. As you get longer on those boats, you can place furniture in a whole bunch of different places, and there are accessories galore. I'll have to do an entire separate video on accessories. You can see there's option packages right from Sea-Doo that puts 10 grand right on this thing with a number of different options. And you can choose, do you want to go with a package like that makes sense, or do you want to individually choose your options, or just take it basically as stock? They're really, to me, a good value boat as well. They are not that expensive when you start looking at what you're getting. It is comfortable despite the fact that it has modular furniture and a different style of having like a recliner seat on the base on the floor. It is spacious, it is sporty, it does everything you would want to do in a boat in one small package, and to me that makes it really interesting. It's going to appeal to pontoon boat people, it's going to appeal to fishing boat people, it's going to appeal to people who want a fun sport boat to do something, but most of all it's going to appeal to people who need some versatility and still want to have some fun for a good value. That's who this boat's for, and frankly, I'm in love with it. I think it's fantastic. So thanks everybody for watching. If you have questions, make sure you check it out here at Torque Motorsports. This is the Fredericton location. Like I said, 2 more locations in New Brunswick. And if you have questions about it that I didn't get to and you want to know more about it, let me know in the comments below. And we'll come back to these boats, try to get more and more information for you so you have a video database of all the information you would want to know. Thanks everybody for watching.